welcome to this session. And today we are basically going to talk about what is data science, right? What do data scientists do, and why do we choose data science as a career, right? So, before even proceeding ahead with the discussion, guys, you might have come across these terms like data science, data analytics, machine learning, deep learning, right? Maybe if you are more into these things, you might have also come across NLP. You might have also come across computer vision, right? So what are these things? If somebody says that he knows machine learning, does he also know about deep learning? Is he also aware about data science? What is AI then? If this is all that we know, what is AI then? Right? So this is kind of quite confusing at times. We as individuals at times face difficulties while understanding these jargons, I would say. Okay, and the primary objective of today's session is to clear out all these jargons. We will talk about what is data science, what is the job role of a data scientist, like what is the kind of day-to-day responsibilities of a data scientist, and why data science is becoming so popular, why people are talking about it, why people are learning this skill, right? We'll talk about that. So without any delay, let's quickly go to the blackboard or the whiteboard and let's start the discussion. So see guys, data science, data analytics, okay, machine learning, deep learning, and what? AI. These are few terms that we have heard, but I don't know how many of us actually know the actual meaning of all these things, right? So let's try to understand. So what I'll do is, I'll quickly draw a figure, and that figure will help you in understanding the basic ideologies. Okay. So basically, if I draw a circle like this, okay, and I'm assuming that this circle denotes artificial intelligence, AI. Okay. Just inside AI, you have something known as machine learning. Okay. So we can say machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. Inside machine learning, you have something known as deep learning. Okay. So you can say deep learning is a subset of artificial intelligence and is also a subset of machine learning. Okay. Inside deep learning, you have core like deep learning or AI techniques like NLP and computer vision, which is out of the scope of this discussion for today. We will definitely talk about that later someday. Okay. So this is what AI means. And if I draw one more figure, let's say this figure, or this circle rather, this circle denotes data science. Okay, so you can see there is a significant overlapping portion between AI and data science, which means that if you are learning AI or if you are learning data science, there is something in common in both of them, which is good, right? Less efforts. Okay, so this is the, I can say, intersecting part or the common part for both AI and data science, which means if you are learning data science, even then you will have to learn machine learning, you will have to learn deep learning, you will have to learn partially, or you can ignore that as well, NLP and computer vision. Why I am saying that you can ignore? Because that is a core part of AI. Okay, so from a data scientist, it is not expected that he will be very good at core functionalities of AI. Okay, but machine learning and deep learning is definitely expected from them, right? Okay, so that is fine. But what about this space? This vacant space, what do we have here? Okay, this is such a big vacant space. What do we have here? So basically, being a data scientist, you should be good at something known as mathematics. Okay, you should be good at mathematics. Again, not the whole of it. So what all should you be good at? You should be good at statistics. Okay, you should be good at linear algebra. You should also be good at calculus to some extent and probability, right? So these are the domains of mathematics which one should master before even getting into machine learning or deep learning for data science. Okay, and out of this, what is the most important one? Most important one is your statistics. Why? Because we all know that at the end of the day, being a data scientist, we are going to work on data, right? So how the data behaves, what is hypothesis, what is normal distribution, what is cumulative distribution, all those terminologies, the different tests that we have, like Z test, T test, chi-square test, ANOVA, F test, multiple things are there. So you should be aware of all those terms and terminologies of statistics. Then linear algebra is there, where you should be good at matrices and all. So matrices multiplication, rank of a matrix, single value decomposition, multiple things are there in linear algebra also. Calculus, you should only know partially, you should not go like deep into it. For example, if you know about partial derivatives and all, you will be able to survive here. And if you know about probability, for example, conditional probability and all those things which are there, it will be sufficient for you. You will be able to survive here as well. Okay. So this is how AI and data science looks like. Okay. But still the question that what is data science has not been answered. Okay. Acha, one more thing which I forgot. Apart from mathematics, you should also know something known as database management systems. For that, you can learn something known as MySQL maybe. Okay. And for all of them, Python is a prerequisite. So without Python, nothing will be able to work as such, right? So we have understood some basic terminologies like what is AI, what is machine learning, what is deep learning, right? What is data science? Okay, we have understood those things. But now let's also focus on what is data science altogether. Okay. So see, especially for countries like India, which is under development as of now, data is getting generated in leaps and bounds on a daily basis. Okay. On a daily basis, you can assume that approximately 1 terabyte of data gets generated. Okay, I'm saying 1 terabyte on a like lower note. There can be more than that which is getting generated. For instance, if you take this example of the meeting which is going on as of now, the session, the discussion, over there, data is getting generated. How? I'm speaking, right? So sound is getting generated in the form of data. I am writing few things, so text, you guys can see my screen, so image, right? Or you can also call it as video. So image and video are not much of a different things. Okay. So just in this particular session, so you can see how much amount of data is getting generated. Okay. If you are able to make use of this data, if you are able to make this data speak, if you can make this data insightful, usable for your company, for your industry, that is known as data science. Okay. When data speaks, that is known as data science. And there are multiple big organizations like KPMG, Ernst & Young, Deloitte and all. And what are they doing is they are going to have something known as a data-driven approach. They are trying to strive towards data-driven approach. Okay. What is data-driven approach? In such cases, in data-driven approach case, what happens is data which is being generated by the company, that will be responsible for taking important decisions of the company. The board members, the president, the vice president, they will be good for nothing. But most important decisions will be taken with respect to data, will be taken with respect to statistics, and that is what is known as your data-driven approach. Okay. Multiple companies are approaching this, like they are striving towards this data-driven approach because data never lies, and data at times, like for example, humans can become biased, right? But data never becomes biased. So if you want a holistic development of your organization, let's not depend on humans as such. Let's depend on data. That is the underlying meaning of data-driven approach. Right? So this is the idea of data science altogether. And just by explaining data science approach, you guys might have also understood that what is the need of a data scientist as of now. Okay, why do we need data scientists? Because as I told you, it is essential for countries like us, for ours, to utilize this data, to manage this data, to organize this data, and to make this data speak. Only then, so much of data which is getting generated as of now, will be helpful for us. Otherwise, it won't be much of help, I would say. Okay. There was a recent study which was done by Hindustan Times in the year 2020, last year itself, December. Okay. So what this survey did, or what this survey concluded, you can just go through Google also, it's available there. It says there are 93,600 job vacancies available for professionals who are in data science, machine learning, AI, all those things. Okay. So this is a claim which has been made by the survey conducted by your Hindustan Times in the year 2020, previous year itself. 93,600 vacancies is not a small number, guys. Okay. So if you choose data science as of now, definitely you are going to get rewarded in leaps and bounds. Okay. Then there is a company known as Ernst & Young. Okay. Previous year itself, in the year 2020 only, it has mentioned that in the year 2021, it is going to hire 9,000 professionals, 9,000 plus professionals in the domain of data science and AI. Okay. Again, 9,000 professionals being hired by a top-notch blue chip company like Ernst & Young is a very, very fair deal. Okay. And you can see the demand of data science. Data science is all here. And that is why getting into this domain as of now, as I told you, will be definitely rewarding. Now coming to the last aspect of the session, which is what do data scientists do? What is the job role of a data scientist? Okay. So what do they do actually? Basically, data scientists are the people who work on data. Okay. So let's say you have a client, okay, of your company. This client, what he does is, he will be negotiating with a person known as business development engineer, okay, based on certain aspects of a project, like how much time should we give to a project, how much amount of money will we be getting after the project is done. All those things is done by the client and the business development engineer. The negotiations are basically done. Once the negotiation is done and once the client is ready to invest in our company, what happens is the client gives data. Okay, client gives data to BDE, and this BDE in turn transfers this data to somebody known as a data engineer. Okay, and this data engineer, what he does is, this data that has been received from the client's end, it is actually a raw data, guys. Raw data means this data is not of much use. We cannot directly process this raw data because it has a lot of irregularities, mal-written numbers. Okay? It does not have a proper orientation, I would say, and that is why this raw data needs to be converted into a generalized form of data. Okay, by performing some pre-processing techniques, by performing something known as ETL, extract, transform, and load. This is a part of big data actually, which is being performed by a deep learning, by a data engineer basically. Okay. Once you have the data in some structured format, this data is in turn passed. Okay, the good data. Let's call it as the good data. This good data is passed to something known as a data science team. Okay. Data science team. And what do we have inside the data science team? We have a data scientist or a machine learning engineer, because the job roles of both of them are quite overlapping. So you have a person known as data scientist or a machine learning engineer, and you have a person known as data analyst. So once you get this good data inside the data science team, what happens is this data science team has two parts, which is data scientist and data analyst. Data scientist will be involved in creating the project, in working on the project which is to be developed by the team. Okay, so they will work on the project development and all. And this data analyst, what he will do is, he will try to represent the data. So presentation part is taken care of by the data analyst. So presentation of the model. Okay. And designing and creation of model, presentation of model itself. Model is nothing but the requirement of the client, guys. Okay, requirement of the client is termed as model, and creation of the model. Okay, so creation of model is taken care of by a data scientist or a data analyst. Why do we need presentation? This is a question for you guys. You can try to let us know your thoughts on it. But simple understanding is data analysts, they work on presentation of the model, presentation of the work done by the data scientist or a machine learning engineer. Why do we need presentation? That you guys need to know. Okay. Now, once the model is ready and once the presentation is also done, what happens is we go to another part which is known as the deployment part. Deployment is ideally done on cloud platforms these days. Okay. And for that we have somebody known as a cloud architect. Okay. And there are multiple availabilities for us as far as deployment is concerned. For example, you can choose various cloud platforms, like there is something known as Amazon Web Services. You can choose Microsoft Azure, and you can also choose Google Cloud Platform, GCP. Okay, so deployment once is done, that means that your entire cycle is complete. Okay, this is how the product life cycle looks like. Okay. And this is the kind of job role which is to be done and which is to be expected from a data scientist. I hope this figure and the ideology behind this was clear. In case of doubts, you can definitely let us know your views. Okay. So with this, I would like to conclude the session, and we have basically talked about what is data science, what is the job that they do, and why should we choose data science as a career. Right. So that's it.